Welcome again to the live topic, Mission and Minister Sylvester. We are on the music and why music, and the most powerful word and some mythological understanding that you don't know that existed in plain text and that you truly needed what? A revelation and creation in reality. So we've been talking about the music as a symbol and life and reason for music. You really need to know that the music, live creating beat and on record labels and all of that, we have to say we've come down to talk about it. Whatever we do that concerns the scripture and truth itself is how they have dispersed it, is how they most of them receive it. What they agree with and what they don't agree with, the reason they have dispersed it. That for you having got a place like this to have it in one place. Now, if you have it in one place, then understanding indeed is this that can do with that. So we're going to be talking about what I prepared here that we also have on internet. Let's go find out. So this we'll be talking about the word music, and we have the word music and what is the meaning of music. So when you take music as a definition on dictionary, you're not going to have it. You're not going to have what I'm teaching or what I'm making known to you. It will just take you to what? Music that you've been listening to, like notes of this and that. But that's not what we are saying is music. That's normally why you don't get a true spirit of some of the things. So watch carefully that we'll be talking about that which matters to the Lord. We were just talking about the angel for music. But we'll have to continue again from what we were saying. Immediately where I've highlighted, that took us to another dimension. So we're talking about simply the word music. The word music. So this is once again, the great Tepo SiC and the US and all of that heaven and earth. We're doing it. Let's get it. So the word music is what? That comes from the Greek mythology, deriving what? From mousikē, musique tekhnē. So the music or musique, or music technique or tekhnē. So there's it. Now you have to be technical when it comes to music because you're going to use what? You're going to just use mouth. You're going to be using instruments, tools, technology, ICTs, and all of that. So most reason is why music must be original and then creating, engineering, sounds, and all of that. They are technical things. So that's the original thing that makes music what it is. Now, watch carefully. That meaning of the word music. Watch carefully. Meaning of the word music. So that the word music or musica, tekhnē is what? It means what? Art on the muses. Art on the muse or muses. You say that you get it muses. So that's the original name that should have been given to what they were trying to say at the Pharaoh state. Those names. So you see, if that you didn't receive well what you were trying to sound, these are the reality. That if you now word well the spirit to where it has predestined, so indeed it would have to work. So the term musique, tekhnē, meaning art for what? So art for the music. Art for the music. Now the word music is what you have to have as what? You were saying music. Even when we were decoding it, I told you about the SiC. In this same word music as you want to say music. Look at where we found that. It will be where we get it, I'll show you that. That's why you know Tepo and then all of that. So the art mousikē or musique, like it's a music. You say so music. So musique tekhnē. Meaning what? Art for the Moses. Art for the Moses. That you say art for the muses. Which is the music you're trying to say about. Now, what are they? What is this they are trying to say is music? What is it? That it says what? The nine goddesses. The nine goddesses. Or you also the nine, what? The nine, already that's why it's nine. So the nine is what? Already leading the path with the small g. So the small g is simply what? 9. As turning it is 6. So that you get 69. Which means 6. 9 plus 6 is what? Is 6. Why is it 6? 9 plus 6 will give us 15. And 1 plus 5 is 6. That is why I have to start working 2015 as a manager for companies. That just defined my role and the rule of the Lord. That we didn't count sinning, do anything wrong. And you can see in our name. Because this defines that I'm set free from that which you think. I'm not the one hiding or doing wrong. If I do anything wrong, it will be wrong only with myself to know. But I don't think I affect somebody with wrong. I do the real work and I show the result as should be. You are not, I'm not just one or alone like this. Being single doesn't mean I'm single, as you know. So it says the nine notices. So what I'm saying notices, when we go look for the word notices, you understand what I'm saying. The Sadducees or Sadducees, you see, even that decode again, Sadducees, the Sadducees. That if you go there, it will give you another word and meaning, Sadducees, which is the sword, like you want to say sword or sword. And I told you what, this is the 90, the 90 and the 60. So this is the 90s, the 90s. So that 90 go with the word 90s and or the 90s, all of that. Now what are they saying is not 9 studies like 9 notice or 9 90s or 9 goddesses. You want to say it that way. Where it says daughters for Zeus, which is what? You want to say Zeus. So Zeus. So it's simply Zeus, which you see the reason US. And this you see as 7 and 7 up, 7 down. That is what? 7 generation up, 7 generation comes down. That is also for the word Z or Z. So Zeus, which is the word that begot for the word we're trying to say Jesus or whatever. So when you don't sound well in that way, you don't know what you're saying. And whenever a name becomes corrupt among the people, you have to do away with it if there is a new language or angel. And that angel is the only one who will know truly what is wrong with what you are saying. And what are we saying is this word, that who inspires what? Inspired or inspired literature, arts, and science, which we say science. So the word science is why you got it right from where it was taken straight to France, or you want to say French, or you want to have it in American English language and then British English language. Now, if you don't got the tongue, if you don't have the spirit, you can't speak like it is, because it's a spirit that even either corrupt or make well in the flesh. So if you don't train well to become the reality of the word, you become really opposite. Now watch here, work carefully. That making what? Making music a divining what? Giving for the Greeks. It means it becomes that which makes out beauty. So that in every generation that passes, or generation that gone the race to this level, you see music as what? A super beautiful people that sing it, that use it. And the drama, the dance, and all of that. So we were actually supposed to say this. Now watch carefully. That connected to poetry, we connect to song. You see that when it says son of the nine, so the word song is also for 9 sons, or as you saw 9 daughters, 9 sons also. So the son 9 or the 6, you say the S-O-N is son. And we're now telling you what? The generation that is 9 or 6. You say it right here. There you see the word G, what it represents. So the word G represents something. And in Korean is the one that talk about G or G to G. Even to say G means G, to eat. To eat. So in Korean doesn't have people at heart. As you want to say, is a place heaven. It's not true. Heart is not a heaven. Like we are saying, you don't have to have a human being to be a house for somebody like that. Rather know that the world is in a vast area covering, and you have to know heaven above and below and level. So watch that again. That earn what? And knowledge. And what we say knowledge means, like when you get to the very river bank, you know that you needed an urn where the earth earned, and then a new start will be what? The water. And before you walk on water, unless you have what? The sheep, which were the flight of the Tashis, and the Tashi. And why I told you that, why this people were giving us the name Teshi is the reason. So that Teshi go with Tepo. That's why Tepo find it, because Teshi is spelled T-E, and that is Tepo also T-E. So these are the spiritual things that made the things reality and directing paths. Do you get it? For a reason that the word will keep on leading you until you get to that place the Lord predestined. Now, also influencing Western languages. What is language? The langu. That is for also the Guanj, the Guanji. So the Guan generation or the Langua G, Langua 9G or Langua 9E. If I decode it in numbers or what I'm trying to say, you will see it and it will open another book or spirit. And that and culture. Which is culture? The culture. So the word itself is culture, deeply. The word itself is what? Culture. That's why sometimes when something is wrong, then they have to define it in another way they can speak it. And have the benefit of what? This word or for this word. So in other words, we are talking about what? What actor you will say is what? Muses. So when we came across the word muses, I said let's get to what they are saying, muses. And when we get to muses, we get it here. And muses simply is what? Muses are the 9 sorors or 9 nodders or 9 goddesses. For what? Inspiration for literature, science, and the art in Greek mythology. So when you don't see what they say is myth, and they are telling you now they are this, and that means it's no longer what you want to say mythology. Because the name Zeus, or you say Zeus, as you say, it's in what? The biblical studies in every part that they talk about this name. That Zeus is the name. Zeus. That I said 7 up, 7 down is the same reason you say it like that. When 7th generation comes, 7th generation goes up. That he that is standing is the same one that returned it. Or he that went up is the same that will return to this place. That on and off is on. So what, and that is science or science, as the word goes, science in the other day. Right. And that the art in Greek mythology. So they have really mentioned it. And then we don't have to have any other word than who are the 9 daughters that they say it's from Zeus or Zeus. They are Mnemosyne. So Mnemosyne. And we say what? You can say either Mnemosyne. What is memo? Like we say this. Memo, what? Like memo. Like this. Sign. We'll say in the word like this. Science. What is science on memo? Like any short info or messages that is given only to whom it concerns, that is memo shared with. Let's say if you are both managers, or if you are true managers, or if you are managers in one company, whatever information that will be given to this manager, you need to also have it. What is it? To see if you see the sign on it. Because you work there, you understand what it says because of a manager level. If you are not a manager level to understand things written in short or just to say 1,000 letters, but you have to put it on what? A pad or paper, like that small size booklet or leaflet that you want to say information on, so that only who it is given that level, management level, that receive that. And when you have it, you're going to have that also written as truth. Come out in the unclean spirit. Midnight. Come out in the unclean spirit that is not drifting with us. We take time, as I mentioned, the time that we have discovered something that we're talking about. What? This 23 December. And I didn't want us to be talking about the word December. So 23 deck. That is a deacon. So 23 deacon. Like deacon. We have a word for deacon. That is a degree. So when I put the word date here, I put it also in the word heaven that made it. And that is what on this 2025, like it's continuously. The numbers are important. So the date is never expired. Now the event, some of them is the event that will expire. So we have the time that I take note or acknowledge that 011544. And I thought we are going to use it also right after it. So let's go a little speedy. That because with some of these things, that we won't say snake. Get a snake off. Move the unclean beast out of here. Move the unclean spirit out of this place. Move by the authority of the 100 shoes angels. Hush. There we got it. So when we have the meme signs or name signs. Yes, or mnemosyne. So the SYNE is also the same. So mnemosyne. Then you also get it in what? The movie, Cine. So watch carefully. That each representing what? A specific creation, domain like epic poetry. And what is epic poetry? Like in this? Calliope, or the Calliope, or the Calliope, or Calliope. Then you also have what? Or you want to say than say, or thens. So you want to say like this form, how to pronounce it is thens. You want to say thens, or than say. You say why the English and French is weird in here, or in the sound. I don't have to be a lingua of somebody than myself who have it original. Got a key. Now, what is then say? Also to say then say is what? The tabsen, where we have the terpsichore or terpsichore or terpsichore. So it's simply why I told you in the word music, you see that they got this one. SIC in what term? As music reading MUSIC. So when I see why we have to show you what you don't understand, there we got it through. Now, the terpsichore is that when I got it and I said then the choir. So the Tepo choir. And I told you the word TPOE, like TP. Are we saying that? Yeah, we're saying this word. Like already they are even giving us another code to open something. That we are simply saying Tepo, as Tepo spelled TEPO. So when you sound Tepo, it is this word again in this form, terpsichore or terpsichore. And we got it also as the terps. And then the same word, so the terpsic. When you say the terpsic, then you are really talking about that temple of the Lord. So that the word temple go for the temple and the music go for temple. Also like this, you're going to have this like temple. That's why this tells who is on the speed or to slow it when you have to slow it. So we shouldn't have come under any level of any humanity or spirit forces that do not know who we are and they disrespect and dishonor. They will never be forgiven any giving of life. Because we want to take away what is ours and draw you out of us. According to this word and truth, according to the word that we won't be saying the word truth, because truth has been corrupted to what? Even the word millennium. And also what? And the tree language. They are the one showing the beast that the truth had rather be placed in the what? Part that they ease themselves of something unwanted. That is why the secret, when it's been made known, you don't have to go there. So one reason that Yeshua said, now that probably you have known this which you thought is benefit or the doubt given, when you sin anywhere anymore, you are never going to be set free. Because I'm not the one doing it. I'm not setting free what you are doing the wrong. But we were taking out somebody who had been working the good of it, or like, you know what I'm saying? Yes. According to the word is what I'm doing. And according as myself, that's what I give. So in order to also speed up a little, now we get also what? We got this word. That what is it to do with this modern day? That in modern usage, and immediately we got here, we say what? The word USA, generation. Here. So that's simply USA to say usage or usage. So the usage, and we also talk about what? US, then age. So this generation is actually the US generation and then US age. That we should know the time, the Trump age, my age, and how old is US. These are the things we have to talk about again. So let me even talk about how old is US since it was what? Introduced. So how old is United States of America in real terms? So we're going to do that live. You see, that's it. That's why you gotta say you have been given pay. So how old is United States of America? United. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. So United States of America, and we got it right there. Since what? Since it was registered, like since it was introduced. So I just want to put it there, right there, like this. And so you see that we leave off the best, and we are looking for the best again. We leave off one page, and we are heading towards another page. So in real time, the United States officially named in 1776. That's why my phone number, you see the number is very necessary. That you don't have to play with it. So the United States officially named in 1776 evolved from British colonies. You see why? Into what? A global superpower. So this is what they did in learning and doing things that made them superpower. And what is it? That marked what? Marked what? X what? Expansion. Because if you to say X, then it's already the word what? Expansion. So marked expansion, which we don't need it even to place this word, except you know this word is also doing something else that you don't know. So in order to say marked expansion, that is exactly what it should be. Now, what is it? Industrialization. And on my channel, continuously say technological innovation, like the what? Space race. So when we are in our space race, don't come and call us racism. We know what race it is. If you are a clean person, you can only race with what? Clean people. If you are fair, you have to know why you are fair and why the Lord keep you what you are. That is a race. So you'll be talking about the 9 race. 9 race. You see that when you say G race, and I told you the G race, and that I showed the 6 and then the 9. Now we are telling you the G as its 9 itself. So that I told the 6th rule, like the 6th rail or the 6th ruler. That is the 666 in it that you don't know. That at the end of the day, it will become 9. 666 is what? When you add it, it will be 18, and 1 plus 8 is 9. You see? There's 69. That is all it is. That is a world that is discord in heavens. That's exactly what you don't know. So if you don't know this and you continue corrupting and spoiling people, even when the best is here. And we have it showing. So my channel is what? Every word that defines United States. That we told you why the great authority making it work. And what's going on. And then they said the DNA discovery. So these are the most reasons to know your DNA. Which we truly say that and the end is DNA. That discovered. That is why I have to say at the ASAX. And what again? That significant social changes. So the character angels, this is the same word. What are they? Civil rights, counterculture, or there is a counterculture, and then political drifting or move. What does it mean? The Cold War. When they live in the cold, they know that it's a war. Until they win battle over the cold, it is continuing to be war. So you don't declare peace on the land that you have no knowledge of, that you have not war. You have not declared a place freedom, so you don't go talk of peace. Let's say if it snow, you know that it was war for them, to understand how to live in it, or what to do to control it. They have really lived. Then we also have the reganomists, or reganomists. We got it here. And what? An immense cultural or cultural influence. Like we were saying, the cinema, music, science. You see that they are in this again. Why are we talking about what? Why are we talking about it in the mythology? But you see the same thing right there. Becoming what? Becoming a leading force with vast economic power. Vast economic what? Power. So you have to know this. Power. Democratic ideals. And what? And complex. So when you have the word complex, you don't come and talk of soft issues. They are dealing with things highly sophisticated, very difficult. Like when I test you, you can't pass unless you are a person predestined, like prophet. When you say it, and then you already the Lord is showing you what to tell me. Then I say yes, that's it. Other than coming to fight ourselves in a way that you don't know it. And what they got a complex challenges. So it needed only who understand them and what they go through. And what? And achieving a unique status as what? X the late 20s. So I was born in the late 20s, like I was born, let's say I was born in the 20th centuries. You say that? You say that? So I was born in the 80s. So in the 80s is 20th century. So that it 20 in a most to say 1990 started 21st century. And that is it. So we got a 21st century. So I was born in what? In the 20th century as the sole superpower after the Cold War. And we've gone through all these things in this day and I've controlled the universe. That's why I say I need to go there so that we look at, that's a new studies. To go and look at what is reason for some of the happening. Because they need solution. That's why you know how the Lord control world is angels. So if you are not one with them, you cannot do anything to affect them in changing something. Or if they don't hear you, when you speak, they don't hear you. They don't do as you hear it. Or it's better I go there maybe a time they expect it and they didn't expect it. Or a time they expect not and it came. So that we'll be doing it while I'll be flying here and there. That's why I told you how we'll be flying in the spirit, like in the memories of the Lord or in the very light. So once we key in one word from that, you see that it's taking us whatever concern US and their solutions. So you couldn't be a musician and you have no solution. And then you think you are worshiping the devil or Satan or something. No, it hasn't got anything to do with what problem they face over there. Than how to solve it. So they don't have to see it as a this and that and God whatever. It doesn't have that thing. What we are talking about here is just a person who understands what is happening, what we can do about it, learn to know what to do and make it happen. That is the superpower. So the Lord is what you are going to say, saying his superpower. If you don't have anything to do with the earth, you don't have any function to have the earth function for you in any way. Just blowing, going here and there. So watch out. Now the key development since, look at it first. The key development since its introduction, found in an early republic, late 1700s. Wow. So they do it so well that we can see that yourself can't be given to something else. And at the end of the day, this 1700 is what? 8. That's 2 universe. Is the same 00S. So S00. That is SO. Sales order. Let's go for sales order. Or IOS. That is 10S. You say they are displaying themselves. Then you say S7. These are the things that bring the code. But if you don't have anybody talk about this, what? Now watch carefully. Now also continues to what? Early 1800. Which is what? Also 9S. Or all of that. And they are saying unlock membership benefit for who? 3 degrees security is saying. So what we're doing then, what is it on? V on it. That's what the value. And it's also talking about even updating yourself whilst I do this. And data shield, and then know as you have to know. Some of the apps we talk about. So this is what we needed. Not that you should come and sin against my own flesh. That if you don't understand what truly is the trailer, that you didn't know that the snake you should have killed. Even though they'll convert all of you to snake. Come out of here. So when you see it as a rope, any rope in any person's room, we command you, come and take yourself out of here. We are not a form of any beast. So this is a rope on the screen. But if you understand what is rope, then they'll tell you why they arrest the beast. And if you don't have superpower, you can't arrest those things. Because they have superpower as well as you think. So the founding and early republic, late 1700s and early 1800s, established as the Declaration of Independence. Look at just what I have to ask straight away that we go to the place. That independence, 1776, and Constitution, 1787. That's why my birth. When they asked my mom the rules, she gave them 87. Because that is also the truth with myself. So she got it right because we are the ones with the spirit working with. That you see the 17 here, 87, and then the 88, the universe. In that orders for your drone. Then based on ideals of liberty, which is on liberty and rights. So whatever you may ask concerning my birth, whatever she said, that's what it is. Because we have that kind of spiritual working, which is what the Lord, she carried this. Nobody else can carry this, my flesh. She's the only one who can carry my flesh, and I'm the only one who can carry the world like this. And we have to establish it with a super. So that's why you cannot say, if I've been born in Konya and it's talking about US more to be precise, the truth and justice, you gotta go and force myself to be with the wrong person. I can never work with the wrong. That's why judgment is this. There, watch carefully. So whatever comes from the heavens, US, you gotta relate it to the church. So the church the church, I'm simply saying, the church cannot come and rule over people who are already superpower. The church rather should know where they mention it, and they know who they are talking about in the Bible or the scriptures. It's concerning a good person, a just kingdom, an army, all of that. The armies of the Lord. So the armies of the Lord are soldiers. That is soldiers we are mentioning here. Won't be somebody's common name, no. So that you say we are the one just mentioning and destroying you. No. Watch carefully that based on this, as taught initially in what is it? So we're talking about what? Liberty. So you see the liberty, what it is. When you keep or take something off somebody's wrong hand, and it's for a righteous person, you give to the righteous person. The heaven needs the true healing. They are in cold, and they need a fire to be there. They are in cold and they need a fire to be there. And that is the only reason we have. So whatever we are, if I've been born, it is the same white people gave birth to the same person. Even if it's what? You know that we put on the color that we have on this earth. But the same to that place. That's why it's for an expedition and search to know these people and that which it is. Now, take a look. That taught initially excluding many groups. Now, grew rapidly. So you see why the things grow rapidly with them. Some of the things you see, giant and tall in a short age. Like at 17 or 18, they're already tall. Like they are giant feet. Because that's a healing that did not reduce them. They are giant children of giant, like I already said giant. They are children of what? Highest heaven. So that is a soul that lifts them up. And some of the things that happen to some people just wish to make people short of babies, which is wrong. It's against the law. So in other ways, like we got it, it says what? That grew rapidly, incorporating what vast territories through westward expansion and Louisiana purchase. Now why my 19, my grade? That is what they know already with my result and everything. Because they learn, they earn. So here, that 19th century growth and conflict. So if I see them make the war and win it, they cannot give it to any other force or claiming to be God. I say, don't listen to them. They have made a war against us all the time. We've won the game. And the 90 is 1. That's 1 plus 9 is 10, which is also 1. That's what they say. If indeed you know the true Lord and Creator, you have to know that it is one with Him, the one He has predestined. So 19th century growth and conflict says industrial growth created jobs. However, what happens? Also harsh conditions were involved with what? Waves coming from immigration and then fueling labor. That we also have what? The nation also was fractured after the Civil War in what? 1861 to 1865, leading to what? The abolition of what? Slavery. So look at the time slavery or slave have taken place. Look at it. That leading to what? The abolition of what? Abolition of what? Slavery. What made it? It's a kind of war that occurred or that happened. Now, to get to 20th century, so the 20th century that I have been born, then you have to know the what? The rise to global power or the global power. You see how it is to say I was born in this generation. That's to show you my rising again, or my rise to the world superpower. That again says became a major industrial and economic force entering what overseas territories after what the Spanish-American War, 1898. Look at all these things happening. Now, witness unprecedented technological advancement like aviation, cars, radio, or let me say this. So I'm speaking a tongue that you don't know. So I wanted to say radio. You see, I have my radio, but you see they have it what, as radio, like they want to say radio in this form. But I have what radio. So in order to say this, what I created, that's what I'm showing you. Radio. But most of those days, you have to have the radio and you won't have any video. You rather have what? Only audio sound you are hearing with no video. But this time you are seeing the virtual reality of what some of them they be saying. So you can be watching the radio live as TV, also on audio. And that comes with computing also, and what cultural explosion like jazz and Hollywood. These are some of the information you need to collect to really say it word well with what? The findings. Because in the art, somebody's watching and they're asking, consulting, and the spirit says this and that you should know. You can say you live to see this person destroyed. When will you have it again? Why are you ever ready to say, when I go today, you're also going to go with us? Then I separate myself from it, because if you can be a virgin, you can't go with us. Because we are not going to go with somebody's family. That is a sin. We can't go with it. So also get to this level. Now my tongue has been really good, but I'm going to take off somebody. Call the bulldog. You are not the one sitting here. I'm a youthful, very powerful angel energy, enforcing and implementing the rule and keys and areas of what life, keys area for living. So let's take another work on the suiciders. So Hollywood is what? Is my name. That's a Sylvester. That's my name. You don't want to say you are the one with acting movie in that place, but that's my name. The word Hollywood is my name. And now watch carefully. The point to note also that world war solidified its superpower status and followed as the Cold War against the Soviet Union. Now late 20th century and beyond. Now post-Cold War, and that is 1991. The US emerged as the world's sole superpower, and it continues to be today. When they thought it would be moved, I brought it again to them because they least expect it. And influencing what? Global political or global politics and economics. So when somebody thinks it is collapsing, I say no. I am the one who knows where I came from and what we need to do. That you only watch and see it happen. Now, late 20th century and beyond, like we're talking about this. Then in point 2 says what? That continuous technological dominance, internet, AI, space exploration, significant social movements, and what? And civil rights, that feminism, that even which come with what? Some of these things that they try to add the right to be like male, but you cannot do wrong. That what right do you have to be with, let's say, an engineer? That you will learn engineering. But when you have the right to be with the wrong person, you are going to learn the wrong thing, which we won't tolerate in the world that something wrong should happen. You corrupt the world as a large world. When you sin, spiritually, it will cause any problem to the whole world. That's why you cannot say we are tolerating somebody eating through what? A place that is not supposed to. To have the right to free movement and do your thing as a human being who is conscious and not dead. But to begin to do things of somebody's old lady or old women, no, then you have to be careful. That it will cause economic problem, or it will cause economic power. Like things that will affect you spiritually and physically, your flesh will also witness it. So you don't do certain things. I'm not the one doing it. I've never married any man. Because I'm not a crazy one. You want to say, I'm watching a man and they change themselves to be women. Before you as image, but you are seeing a man in the spirit, or you don't see it because you are only saying you are seeing a man being made a woman. Some of the things happening is a secret thing. So you have to have the spirit before you can tell who indeed is a man from the creation source that have been changed or converted to a woman. And who is indeed also a woman that have been converted to what? To a man. That you can only have the true spirit before all these things happen. Now why we're talking about it, that the overall trajectory from its revolutionary beginning, the US transformed into the world's leading economic and military power, and the Pure characterized innovation and also democratic ideals or democratic ideal, and also significant cultural aspects and ongoing debate over equality and social justice. And that also says that this, as you see, like A11 so AII, which is the excellent one from the A, the only one that can pass through one-on-one is A. That is why the word without A, so the word all, I want to say, is not all. It is what? It is A11. 11 has A, or a son of 11 house. That's what it represents. While navigating. So you see that there was a need for a movement and objects to move. While navigating a complex global relation. So if you are not the son of the kingdom that is to rule the millennium or to understand why things people were doing, indeed is the time and the generation. When the spirits are beginning to show up or influence you to do certain things, that's the generation that you are living in. So whether you know it or not, after that they may use you. So unless somebody is consciously watching, you would have been destroyed. I won't allow certain things to happen because you don't think you've seen and you want to say we have all done the wrong thing. You saw it alone. Probably I didn't say it. Or there are things you have handled that you saw yourself doing. But I also saw I only saw you doing it. But I have no hand in it. So that also causes what? And domestic challenges. So indeed, I told you that cut the snake off. We can't be keeping snake. We don't know what came out from snake. Look, even talk about the Wikipedia says United States is a beginning with the South Carolina 11 slave state government voted to what? To CDs or the CDs. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Like city. You get what I'm saying? Or the city from the United States. What? In the 1861. Yeah, also joining to create the Confederate state of America. Yeah, so that's just something, by the way, to talk of the 11. That I was saying A11 or AII. You see that we found it here, and once we talking of things above, and you also saw it below it. That when we click on this is also now above on the staircase or on the ladder. So don't joke, don't play with things that count with the Lord. So what are we going to do? Let's find out. That these things, we need to really finish it. To make known to you what they presented, and that it agree with what I'm also saying should be the reality. That means what I read should work with them. When I sound something, they must have the ear and hear. If it didn't come from the path that made the world, so we just have this point and we made it happen. And that is where we actually say that the Lord made it happen. So a muse is also what? A person or a force that inspires creating, while to muse means to think or ponder deeply on something as a stemming from what? From the same root idea of contemplation as in mythology, who they are is what? Or are the nine stars or nine sisters, as we have the Calliope or Calliope, we have the Clio. So that's why this one somebody have the name as Clio. So there's the Clio, and then we also have the Erato, we have the Erotap or Utep or Uteper, and then we have the what? The Malpomene, and we have the Polynemia or Polyhymna. So that's why we have the word Polyhymna or Polyhymnia. And you know the number that is poly. Alright. Then we also have the Tepsier or the Tepsicori. Then we also have the Thalia, the Urania. I told you what? This one is what? Rania. Then we also have the role that they play to inspire artists, poets, and thinkers. Who are thinkers? people who are reasoning with somebody, thinking, like trying to capture why this and what that, trying to solve something. And then bringing it what to knowledge. What is knowledge? To that which you see that somebody may also see. Indeed, making it available or making it known. And also create or to know the age of something or on something and where it ends to begin another thing. Well, that also so that their origin comes in this form. Daughters of Zeus. So the Zeus are these we are saying. So saying that actually who are they? Kings of the north, which is the 90s or the 90s. So this is the king of the 90s, the 9 ODs. And what what? We want to say that? That also what? The name signs. Yeah, the name signs or the memo signs. Our Kaldin Kalvult Kara Sikun Halash Pola Kakundlia Foka Dabut Iknes Fall that here Bala her di Bala. So what just done the Kapa Secunda. Abadis will hold it right there. So the nowadays or the 90s memory. So in the memories of the 90s or the memories of the goddess or the 90s of what? The 90s. These are the main purpose for this grade as a noun, as a source also on inspiration for an artist. There also is a verb to think about something carefully and at length or at length. Let's watch. We gotta get it. So we complete this part. Let me just close it. If not, what are we talking about again? You just complete it. If not, we have a lot to do. Close it. We got it. So we got it, and this one too, we got it. So I need to close it quickly, so that we get into the point. So we just started what? Just something some way along the line. We got it, and we see opening one word, opening different dimensions of the world, and that we were just here. So to talk about the angel itself, let's go through it. So we have found many things reason with these words. So what do? We have already the function of most of the things. So let me go through this and then we go talk about the main angel that is responsible for the music and it's nice as beauty as we want to have it. So we have had it and then also to this connection, I will talking also about what? That inspired literature, arts, the science and making what music, deriving, giving for the Greek. So it's important as important to the role they play, and you see that they are the same in the West. That connected to poetry songs, and I was telling about what? The 9 sons. The 9 sons, which is what also what? The sun, G or the C. So you also have it, the snow. So this one also calls for the snow. Why they are work is the most reason you see those things there without being scorched by the sun. Or that when the sun gets there, you have to change. Or I have to work out something and then we are seeing the beauty of work in this place. Carrying the gold to that place. Shining bright other than giving them sickness. No, you don't have to do that. And you can only do that according to the word. Some of them, it may give them good, others, it will be as a case. And that also knowledge influences Western language and culture deeply. Now, the Greek mythology and the Muses are so origin. The term muse is what from Greek musique and directly links to the Muses as goddess or the nowadays and all of that. Now the 90s out inspiration. Now role is what? They preside over creating an intellectual endeavor and bestowing what? Knowledge and artistic skills. So that's why if you're not skilled personnel, they don't need you in their West. You go already if you're not a just human, you cannot go there. So you cannot come from any religion and be in that place. What are you going to be doing there? We need a result that will carry us into heaven. And then the scope of this work in ancient Greece. The music or the musica or the musique wasn't just sound. You see, wasn't just sound in the time you have to call it. The Lord with them in that time like ancient Greece. Now, it what encompasses what or encompass the music, poetry, and dance. And we got all this in dance or dance, say. And that we got also an earning to learn and learning to earn. and earning, L. Now, etymologically, the journey, for to say journey, what comes that from Greek musica through Latin musica. You said we are just talking about it up there. Now we got to it. Now, musica through the old French, you see that they are in connection. These are the things. That's why I've been flying over those countries that are having tile like high scripture build and scrapers build. That's it in the super world. That's why I fly over them in physical world that they are. So it's also what? As arriving in the Middle English as music. So what they were trying to say, the musica and all of that, and then you say why they got it over here, the SIC. So the SIC insurance, these are the word that inspired most of the thing, to say state insurance company or state insurance corporation. Now what the music or the muse itself shares root with what? Museum. That is why you have museum. So the museum, so if you were a teacher, you just say there's a word called museum and you define it, you have not taught, you have failed. Because the word that museum is given from is what? Music, which is also music. So when you come and teach somebody that you have been given definition to teach people as a teacher to say museum, you have failed. Where to start from is the what? Where we have music. All of that. And mosaic, you say it. You see that all that they are trying to say about somebody is these things we are seeing here. And then to say the A that passes through one-on-one. It means one-on-one meet and they produce this A. Stemming what? From what? This concept for divine inspiration. Now, etymologically, again, the figure in music says they are polio. Often seen as what? The primary 60 or 90 for music. That those other deities were what? Linked to what? Instruments. Like our ears. You see that we're getting another thing here. That our ears, our fears, our fears, or our ears. Now, a legendary musician, son of Apollo. You see? So son on Apollo. And a muse who charmed gods. What carefully? Who charmed the 60s or the 90s. And what? And mortals with his lyric. So that's what you got also for lyrics. For his what? Lyric. Even what? Rescuing his wife, Eurydice. What? Eurydice. That's what? Eurydice or Eurydice. So you can say Eurydice. From what? From the underworld through what? His song. So you see that it was captured to underworld. However, the music had charmed somebody to take them out of the underworld. Because that was not where they have to be. How do you also survive underworld? Then it's a spiritual thing that can lead you to places like that. Now, cultural significance is what, or the cultural significance is what, that music showed, or music was considered as divinely given. Central to what? Religious, even not to talk of religious. Because all that we are talking about is already from highest. We don't have to center it on religion. There are ceremonies and cultural expression. Because religion is not the biggest thing we talk about. We are talking about the main thing. We cannot come and center it on religion, which is a small thing. They are large before it, but that's not the biggest thing. The biggest thing, knowing what we are saying, that created something. How do I live with my dollars raining and I'm hungry for what? What? Then they say, who should learn? Learn what? I have a thing already. I don't want to teach anybody that is wrong. The Bible says we shouldn't teach a fool. Do you want to know that? Listen, watch here. So that you said I'm the one speaking the language, even in plain text, they said don't speak to a fool, don't teach a fool. So when you make yourself a fool, I'm not to teach you. The knowledge that we should have is not for teaching a fool. It's like you don't know. I'm not the one who pray that you shouldn't know. So the Bible says what? Don't teach a fool, don't advise a fool. Watch here. That's why some people have taught them and they have ended being what? Wrong and not giving reward. So the Bible says what? If that is your Bible or scripture or religious belief or your angel belief, let me show you. Because we are talking about things that are what really makes something possible to say, oh, why somebody keeps something in the Bibles or the Bibles or the Bibas or the Biblos. What? It said the Bible says what? That don't advise a fool. Am I the one insulting you? No, that's not insult. Like the sort of things that you see that is unaccepted is what we deny. So don't advise. I give it those words. Okay, this one. Don't advise a fool. Watch here. Life before you. Large. This Bible is big. Watch it. In the Proverbs, they're gonna show. Also in the Corinthians. Open for them to see that we could not open mouth and talk. He said the Bible says what? Especially the book of Proverbs. Doesn't advise giving what? Advice to what? To a fool. Rather what? How to deal with them. So how to deal with somebody is different from you trying to help advise somebody. Because the word of advice goes to what? Goes to a person who is already learned to understanding that I will listen. Or I know that when you tell me kick in here, I have to do it. Other than you forcing us to do it. Or when I do teach you, then you want to be an opposite to this word. So the Bible specifically says, don't advise a fool. Or don't give advice to a fool. Rather, how to deal with them. And how to deal with them is predestined. So that's what they say. To say that Yeshua time has given you small portion and become 2,000 a mile taken away like this. Several years in this. Watch carefully. There we have what? We have it. Now watch carefully. So to how to deal with them. Now often this word says withholding words because they will scorn wisdom. What is the word scorn? Let's get it. Scorn, or you want to say scorn. Hurry up. Or what's the way that I also take through? So when it's ready, we get it. There we have it. So where will you find it? So don't be mentioning the thing you are saying God and this and that. No, that's not what we mean. What makes what you are seeing is what we're talking about. So also instead, you should listen to the counsel or to counsel that fear the 6D or the 90 or the oldies. And what? And not act like what? A fool yourself as following your own sinful impulses. As a wise dominion bringeth safety and a good future. Key verses like Proverbs 23 verse 9 says, do not speak to what? Or do not speak in the hearing of a fool. So even don't speak for the fool to hear you. For he will despise the wisdom or the dominion for your words. That causes them even to hate. And I said, don't waste your time on that. They will mock you. You don't know that. So we got it. Now, what is scorn? At least get the word scorn. Like you want to say scorn, like this scorn. This word. Just want to. So if I take it, like you see, when we go to the farmyard right now, we have the shining corn. So don't give this food to them to rubbish it and give you this word. Watch carefully what I'm saying, as we cannot have the mouth of an enemy or our enemy. What is the word scorn? So what? It's a feeling and an expression for contempt or this what for what the disdain. I would say that way. And then for what someone or something you want to say it is that I do not wish to become the object of a scorn. So I do not want to become something else. Or I do not want to be contempt, like I do not want to become contemptuous. You get it? So we got it. This is it. You cannot come and tell me that the enemy is the one advising what I should do. I don't think the Lord ever contract you to understand what we have to do than just doing it and seeing that your reward will be incomplete. So if my reward is to have it and bring it to the light, and the Lord will be ready to do that, why not? Why not? So we continue to be live while we say this is very crucial role we play. So at this moment, what do we have to do? I have to close this part of the conversation, and we now talk about what? The angel that made it possible. So in other words, things that we need to talk about is just as beautiful as music as it's beautiful coming from the angels. Come out, come out, come out. Okay. So in the mythical or in the mystical traditions and in geology, so you see when you say geology, what you are missing out there is because you don't know what it says angelology. When you are learning about angel, it's angelology. So the Bible is written based on angel. That's why they call it geology and things. How you didn't find it geology, but they said theology. So one of the word theology, theo is also one of the forces. So when you have it from theology, it means that is the level talking about what another fellow they know as angelology. So when it comes from angelology, you are now going to see the reality, because it's the angel that is superpower that controls. So when you are also learning and becoming what you have to predestine, then you now operate like they are operating. So watch out. Now, the main angel associated with muse or musica or musical tekhnē, which says what? Is there archangel, or you want to say archangel? So arch. So archangel or archangel or archangel is what? Sandalphon or Sandalphon, which is simply what I say that. We are saying Sandalphon. Sandalphon. Which we have this word that made somebody's name Alphonse. Alphonse. Where you have it, you have to know it. So watch carefully. Now, however, the concept for a single angel for music does not originate from canonical biblical scripture. You see, it does not originate from canonical biblical scripture. That's why you don't see more of the truth as it's given in its main places. That rather, from that it says, rather from latter or later non-canonical text, interpretation, and folklore. Now, archangel or archangel Sandalphon is what? Heaven's choir master. That goes on here carefully. Now watch as the concrete so you know it. That the Sandalphon is most commonly recognized in Kabbalistic and other mythical or mystical traditions. What is tradition? Trade, the business. Well, you want to understand what is trade. So that when you use word tradition, you are simply talking about trade. The trade is what? Here. Carefully watch what I'm saying. So whilst it loads, we gotta go on. As what? As the angel who directs music in heaven. So where is heaven? Let me show you where the heaven is on my channel. Even we show you that be heaven or be heaven or be heaven or he heaven. When he heaven comes, these are the things. It's on my channel already. You can find it. That's it. And I told you what heaven is. He heaven. So if you are not the one the Lord is directing, you will hate it. You will never want to listen, to learn, to know what I'm saying, to earn it. So what we're saying here, that what we say is trade. What is the word trade? What is trade? What we say that. So what is trade? So what is trade? What is trade? So I don't have to tell you what is trade, Dan. I know it already. That a T rate or itad. Now this is a word trade. So trade is what? The exchange for or goods and services, assets between individuals. What are individuals? When you know the dividers of this world, you know what it is in two, in one, and also what? Businesses or countries, essentially the buying and selling things people need or want. So some of the things that I skip is because I don't want to put it in. I don't want that thing to turn the thing. Like they told you, one seed can spoil the whole thing. So I know what I'm saying. So my table is not prepared for something to code it in the wrong. How they feel is reading. When I tell you what it is, the spirit accordingly You have to know it also right now. So whilst we're talking, the cloud is formed also form again. And that, what happens is this. That for what need? For need as what? And want, or need or want. Doing what? Helping societies specialize what? So societies specialize growth economics, also access resource or access resources they can't produce. So do you understand that? Let's say a country is capable of producing apple or apple or the golden apple. Let's say in the West you find those countries, but other countries in a certain direction or geographical location they can produce apple. So what do? They have to have something valuable from other country. Let's say what do you have to exchange the goods. So maybe you're taking mango that you may have for an apple that is what? In that West, which you also need a spiritual benefit and healing. The reading and reason for the trade is on. You don't have to have a business that doesn't really connect with the truth. Or like, I don't even say the truth, like connecting the reality that you have to have understanding the consciousness. Where we also call for what? The need to what? Understanding this. And I'm quickening this world, yeah. I know a lot of things happening on superpower channel, so having to put life and creation in. Lord of the Lord, light of the Lord. If you are really a Lord from the west, or Lord from the east, and Lord from the up and down, and Lord on the level, and Lord from the great south, anything that comes from above or any language and angle in the universe most powerful, we command also very greatest authority of the earn, and the path that we will not mention now. But in most geographically, wherever the enemy is that you know from this angle, we are not just saying the enemy is using map only. They have some form of spirit that is in them. And you are the Lord who also predestined. We delete and curse and cause that falling power forward, part of the flesh. Whatever causes weakness and weak to cause ailment, we command it as idle and lazy. Command life into the flesh and delete it all and all of it. It's a word and configuration that as far as the time taken and things going up and down and rolling, let there be healing. As we are also drawing out of any confusion and conversation of our enemy. That the path enemy even was just to say many ways. However, they have corrupted to something else. And we know that we can speak the language of our enemy. So in that, it goes to say that efficiently themselves. Now, it can also do what? It can involve simply bartering, where we have the trading a skill for what? Food. You see, I just mentioned that. So food for food. And then using what? Money for products. Like money is simply spirit. What you can give according to spirit. That's what I was saying. So it's spirit to spirit. Like food. Let's say mango for maybe apple, or trying to use in the category of those things. Or on the mission for exchange. That's a thing that is a barter trading. There we have it. For this purpose, that like buying German appliance in the UK, or complex international commerce involving export goods leaving a country and import goods entering a country. So you can't say age is the reason you have been called to do the work of the Lord. It's never true. Now, key aspect for trade is that goods and services. Now, trade covers tangible items like food, clothes, cars, and then intangible is also what? Actions, banking, healthcare, design. Now, participants also, it had happened that between individuals, we have what? We have companies and nations as international trade. Now, mechanism also for goods, forestry, services move from supplier to buyer. Now, often what? And often facilitated also money or other what mediums of exchange or on exchange. So where you can turn on and off, you should know what we should turn on or turn off. You gotta just use any term for for. No, you don't do that. Now, specialization countries focus on what producing what they are good at. Yeah, like a car. Whatever you can do best. So if you are the one who can design the thing best as a base is with you, then they also what? have somebody who can also build it physically, because it's already physical before you and the one who built it physical. So from spirit is physical to the one that also built also physical. That they use physical things as it is from the system to put out it out there. It will be like spirit, physically spirit, and spiritually physical. However, you can't touch, you can't live in it, you can't sleep in it. But that is the same thing they built, and you are now living in it. Welcome to the spell praise and praise of the Lord. So we don't have a word praise to abuse it. Don't abuse it. Don't get it wrong. Getting it wrong in the faith or whatever it is because you have been taught wrongly, rude. You have been taught like something else. Now they have a word stock here below. So before we get it, so I heard it sound there. Now what? So like you want to say that and what trade for things they lack. Example, they give apples. You see, that same word I have used first, apple, and then for mango. Then financial what? So financial or financial markets in, let's say, finance or finances, trading also means buying, selling securities or stocks, crypto, and then for profit from price changes. You say that? Do you understand that? When you buy, let's say, crypto in a value that, let's say, okay, in an asset like 1,000 cities, you hope that as business go on, there may be an adjustment or increase. So as for your prayer is that they should increase the price of the thing so that you sell it at that price, and then you take your assets, 1,000 cities, and then the profit you make on it maybe 100 cities on it. There you have made a trade like this. Now when your money is there and you realize that you bought it at 1,000 and the price of the asset is reducing, and then you are not getting profit for it, you have to withdraw quickly. If not, you will have your money that is your initial money, you will lose it. Other than the purpose for making profit, you will lose it, and if care is not taken, all the money will get finished. Then you've lost what? 1,000 cities. Other than having 1,000 cities and then profit on it. So that's it. That's what we really talk about. So even that, the spirit tells that if you have gotten to a place that you've never worked, things you have to know, once you get it, it's like once you have the spirit, it means once you have to teach. It's the reason practically you can do it. I cannot just talk about it without doing it. What I say, I understand it already. What I talk about, I understand it already. So if I don't understand it, I can physically create it. So physically what I can create or what I can do practically, that's what we're saying here. So getting also to the matters like why trade matters, fulfills needs and wants, drive economic growth and progress. Also build global relationships and then cooperation. Also what increase market efficiency and fair pricing, which is in finance. Example is what? You buying a mobile phone or phone made in China and then importing it. You understand it? So it means you buying it from a foreign country and then falling into your country. I also say that a British company designing a website for a Polish firm that is service export import. They also kind of like trading the toys with a friend at school. I mean having a business talk about what? Toys. To what? Where you can do this. Talking about it. We got it, so that we also close this quickly. Now to this very fact, we want to say that we really have gone the wild level of the word, owning the greatest. So owning to this, let's get it. So this angel, they told you what? Very necessary to know it. So what is the rule? We're going to also watch the rule. Now the action is Sandalphon, heaven requirements. Sandalphon is one of the most recognized in Kabbalah and other musical traditions. So we go to the word tradition, and I told you the word trade. So that's why you cannot say, you don't understand when I have made it known to you what is tradition. So the word tradition is originally the business, so that when it goes on, then you get it as tradition. So that they got the word tradition from what? From trade. Or trade from tradition. Watch carefully that as the angel, so I said in the posture of the ark and powerful prophet and prophetess, ministering the very excellent energy without fault, with no fault, we communicate and strain the light as forces that from my greatest authority and work and atoms of the works and souls of the works, that anybody the Lord also prayed us in, may he, the Lord, also watch carefully and assume his supernatural word and false and falsehood that somebody bear, let it be delivered in the sitting power mystery of the truth and the very excellent of what sorting and assorting. Now the Lord knows what he has prayed us in, and that my kingdom is millennium, let it sitting posture is millennium. Also in the posture that whatever is corrupt in the word, let it be removed in the sitting posture of the archangel, the strength, and the prophet and prophetess, and greatest anyone that you, the Lord, have given superpower that makes it and correct things, not how they also expand with none of it. And we also communicate that one with one eye, we commanded as the sitting of the prophet, you cannot be working the prophet when you have one eye lost, and may the Lord also look at the part that truly is needed of your flesh on your flesh. That do they not see you that you need an eye replacement? Let the Lord rule. Do they not see that you need a food? Let it be that somebody can create the food and then you put it on. That's the part of the human part of the flesh that you cannot say you lost, and it's a soul. When you lose one hand, it's a soul. When you lose one leg, it's a soul. These are the things we say soul. Connected with yourself and the spirit that created you. Talking about it and saying it is a soul. So you need it, powerful strength, needed, indeed it is. So the word like that, as it goes on, as what? The angel who directs music in heaven, and what? And serve as the patron angel for the music on earth. So for any patronage of music on earth, it concerns Sandalphon and the what? Choir masters in heaven. So that they told you this is the one that it concerns whatever music. So when I'm here, he himself is existing, and I'm the same person in the flesh as also living and ministering the best. That if he is not around, or he can come to you personally, but I'm the most real act and the physical that is with you like forever. So forever is like when you are seeing I have a flesh. I have a flesh, and then making known to you the one that is what? Of more heavenly spirit, which is what? More of spirit than flesh. That you can only see them when they want to what? Make known to you something in flesh. That they appear in flesh. So our business can be with destroy or rot. No rotten situation. May the Lord also take the enemy out. Come out of the head. Out of the children. Come out of the unclean spirit. Right away, I command you by the decree of the greatest angel. We can lose our eye to that person of unclean. We have no hold in the herd. Move out of the devil of it. Come out and show the level. That we are on earth leveling with the things on earth and in spirit and the things above. Come out of the bulldog out of the head. Come out of the flesh. So the great Sylvester can now fail as my word cannot fail. So my heart is not as reduced as a box of somebody. I'm not the one when I say square head. No. But I know them that the word has created. So we watch them carefully, and then this is a tongue that speaks and also made the music. We want to say that we can have any map of my enemy. We command any fish out. Come the fuck out of here. Come any God we have. Anything that is in the form of God in a Father, God, whatever. Come on. We said we want to be ourselves. The true way we were created. We can't be in a way. By the image of the unclean spirit. By the sound of us, right away. Come out in a powerful spirit. The most beauty that the Lord waits, we cannot corrupt it. By the head of a beast out. Get the head of a beast out of his flesh. So that I command restoration. Come on quickly. As it's night, the Lord outflow and walk in his flesh. Time like this. Put the enemy out. So let's move quickly to this side now. It's very most important that I've not lost my part to anybody, that I'm not rot in their flesh anybody. So that the role is what? His role to play a role. That the Sandalphon is believed to. So this time right, don't say it's believed to. Once you know his name and purpose, so that you just want to say, go straight forward and say, okay, maybe some of them you have been told but you've not witnessed. So it's a reason. So my head is not a fish. What a snake out. You see that we are not talking about a snake. Come on, the snake is yours. What a python is snake out. What a python is snake out of the channel. What are the channel in text? Come on, it out of the chest. Come on, land, right there. Any currency come out of the house. Come out of the Queen house. Any currency come out. Come on, the snake out of the Queen house. What is powerful spirit, archangels, authority, and supernatural sword? So, Sandalphon is also what? They said what? Is so to simply you want to say oh, he's lived to be. He's lived to be. To receive the prayers of or the prayers from, so he simply want to say prayers from people on earth. So you see, even the one that what is connected to receiving. Because the music you are singing is a prayer, is everything. That is what has to do with your sound, note, and voice, and all of that. So come out of the unclean spirit. What is the snake out of the spirit? What is the unclean arm robbery spirit? Come out of the flesh. Take our image and flesh out of the unclean spirit that is what in the flesh of the unclean. What is the unclean soul out of here? So on this, you have to understand that on the earth and weave. And he does what? He weave them into what? A garland, you see. I was just simply saying the garden is that G-A-R is the name of the Lord. So that in that, so this is the word for garden. But you see that this time they are showing what? The garland. So when you have the garland here, that's the original name they are saying, garland. So when they also say now garden, it's because it has been named after the Lord and the one he created. So the person the Lord created that to say Eden. They are the name. So when you don't see that, you don't know the Lord alone and his land that is available here. That's the garland and then the garden or music. You get it right now? Now, this which is what then presented to the God, the sword, that level that is above them or who they minister to also, or when they receive and give to who they give. So you couldn't have any other force that is claiming to have this name and then is corrupt, has sinning against us. Come out here! There we have those. Also, people often call on Sandalphon for inspiration, like conferring from or conferring through, or I don't want to use this word. So conferring from that which is inspired in music, or guide us on, like guide to say answers to your maybe your worries or things that you sought to know in the Lord, because some of them are responsibly charged to know that this responsible thing. When you wake up today, you must do this. This you must do. Come on, also my Empire Mansions. Come on, Empire Mansions, right away. Come on, the snake and the paradise. Put the life lessons out of it. Put the life into the right away, the college. College and sharing in powers. Living spirit. Hours, right away. So, you have to have this. That, for such is an information that is given in using the musical talents. You know what is talent? You want to know? So now go to this place. The origin. So what is the origin? The then gene. We have the Negro. There we have the Negro. So this word so that's what. So this origin means Negro. So these are the origin to say US. So the word origin is Negro. This is what they have the word Negro. So the origin for USA and all of that is Negro. It means those who have returned to them showing their hair volume. That is their origin. That's their origin. It means transforming or evolving. So when they are named after it, they should have known that they are talking of their own origin. So that we have American Negroes and all of that and Migros. So in this case, you have to talk about Negro and Migro. Now, a unique aspect from maybe Sandalphon's mythology is that it is what? A belief, or say it is the belief. So what? It is the, so it means already you know what to believe. It means already you know what to live. It means already you know. So the word belief came for the word that is written life. This one, look at what is written for life. Let's take the BE and resting life. Is this thing that is written, watch carefully. This thing here is, oh, is that it? Even I wrote it straight away. That is what. There's the leaf. That's what I said, the leaf. So belief. So you see, the word leaf is life. So to have life, to have a resting place of life. So this is what they are writing. that the L-I-E-F is L-I-F-E. And when you word it like this, F-E also goes for iron and other things, and this one, Leli. This one also another thing. So you cannot say you have been given and then we don't see these things work like that. Oh my word. So it goes on like that. Now watch carefully. So a unique aspect, this as we command and believe also. So watch carefully, that is part that is believed. It means is to like to say it's in a place of life. The word believing in a place for life that he lived. You see, look at it. You see that the definition. So once you don't get it, you see already is right there. Live a human, or to have lived a human life. You see that he has lived a human life, as the prophet Elisha or Eliyahu or Eliah, before ascending to what? The heavens and becoming an archangel. So he has become an archangel. Once you are able to enter the heaven, then truly you have become archangel. Well, again, watch carefully. As much like his spiritual co-brother, archangel Metatron. You see? What is Metatron again? That is what? The nota meta. You see? So the word meta or metaverse, all of that is this. Metatron or metatom. That the met also atom. So that's it. Now, who was what? The prophet Enos. You see? You see that now? And that also depicted what? In art, Sandalphon is what? Is often depicted playing a musical instrument. And myself on the live broadcast, we're doing it. So it will confirm it as in the spirit, so in the flesh. As is in US, so it had to be what I confirm to be. Yes. And then from Tepo, that have become world champions. To know every other place, just learning. I will earn it. So we earn L. So any place, any country I travel, I have to earn L over there. What about the pub and pub? If it's a lie, we'll know it. And that's such as what? A hap. In the conversation, I started with those things. A hap. Or and what? Extremely tall figure. Now, in the Lucifer, look at it now. In the Lucifer myth, which is a misconception. Even like I told you, I was telling you, if you have work and somebody coming to take your place and claiming to be that person, regardless of the name, what he's here for was not for your good than carrying your good away and destroying you and give you a bad name. So come on, what have been taken from the great names of the real truth? Come on in. Come on in quickly. Take your authority out of any unclean spirit. Then watch what they are saying. So it's a misconception. Let's say you build a house and you have somebody just came in and then they saw that it's a good place, then they carry you out, destroy you, and take your place. You cannot do this. Come on, enemy. Whatever I took from this source that is clean and turning them to beast form, come on the enemy out of it. Move the authority out of the beast. Come on the beast out of his place. You made, they told you human life lived. So, it's a widespread popular misconception is that Lucifer or Satan was the angel of music, like you have been told, before he is fallen from heaven. Now, this belief stems from poetic interpretation as a past age. It means a time, some time past. Some time past in what? In the book of Ezekiel. What is Ezi? The Ezekiel. Now, let me see. Lay Kaiser. So, Lay Kaiser. Then this name. Now, I have this word. We're going to look at it later. Look, let me put what language. So that's why I'm speaking the true languages. Like Kaiser. So we have to look at which language is it that was taken. Even to have Kaiser also sound, and you want to say like Kaiser. Like when you say like Kaiser, let me put it there like that. So, like this. So I need to take note. So that's what they are saying. So when we decode it, you will see that it will take us somewhere. And when it's in this form, that will also give us another language. So it is. Then we have it. So they told in the book of what? Ezekiel. Now watch carefully. Even here we're going to have a lot of things. Now the workmanship for your timbrel, you see, that's the music where we are playing it live. And what? And pipes was also prepared for you on the day you were created, you see. So that's why you have been here talking about this, talking, saying things lyrically. You are just singing a kind of song you don't know until you discover the kind of music you are speaking or singing. Now, many biblical scholars also, however, assert that this passage is a lament directed metaphorically as the human kings of Tyre. So we also have tyrants and kings of Tyre like this. Now, not a literal description of Satan's originally angelic deity or the instruments built into his body, as biblical scripture does not especially identify an angel in charge of music. You see, as for that one in that place, they really couldn't get that out there than the book that kept the best, as you ought to know. Nor does it want to refer to Lucifer in that specific role. Now, you see that, so in the most detail, you have to have somebody saying how we read it and who agree with it. That makes the thing work. Now, while the main angel of music, other angels are associated with sound and praise in religion texts, like what? Let's say angels in general. So angels are often described as singing and playing instruments, harps and trumpets in what constant worship around the god or the sword or the Caesar's throne in heaven. Now, like Archangel Gabriel, known primarily as a messenger angel, as what that is a Libra and Libra. So, oh yeah, that is what is widely associated with a trumpet. That's why I'm the same person they prophesied to have a trumpet. Once it was written, it will compare all the others. That is why it is true prophecy that you are hearing things like most of the things which you don't have to believe, except it's prophesied. Except it's from the same Lord that is revealing who this person is. And that I couldn't fall to your falling areas. However, in every situation I made it and I rise to the level. I rise to my level again. And there we have the cultural and whatever the cultural trade that's on. In that this association is what is rooted in later hymns and folklore rather than direct biblical text. You see. Now watch this angel like Irafel, like Ira. That what do you mean like Israfel? Israfel. Even they are telling you that is Israfel. They are pointing to you that person is this in a form like, and what you find in it is in the mic or in Islam. Look at what I'm going to say in this word. Islamig. What does it mean? Silmalsi or Simalsi. Simalsi, and then it's in the language common. That we say Asimasi or Simasi, like something like that. Would you know that that tradition is in what the hadith? That the archangel Israfil is named as the angel who would blow a horn to signal the coming of the judgment. So I've been given already all the things. That is why the ear that may be having a problem, sometimes challenges, is because of the trumpet that was blown in our ear. That's why when we are also talking, you can see the loudness and power over distance without amplifying. We finally made it. So when the one that heareth the judgment, when he that heareth the judgment indeed is indeed what you are hearing, that is even he himself telling you that in the flesh, the trumpet was blown in the silence, but you don't know it. It was blown in the silence. However, that is the loudness of what is causing sound their ear. And the trump mentioned the ear. And they were telling you something that was coming from what? The ear of Trump or whatever. This we come finally to the part that commands music. So we finally made it. Very well, thanks. Look, whilst I'm live, I can show you what we are doing live. Let me show you. Let's go on the channel. On the channel. So we are live on this. So let me take you through. No, not here. Like, I was just trying to look at this. So let's open to this place while we are live and doing it. You know how we do it here? You should know this. So years. So in the mighty authority of years, let years living authority is beautiful one that we created or that is created. Take the name of cleanness that is corrupt out of it. Yes, that's alright. Because we couldn't become enemies to ourselves in the game. Yeah, we got power, truly power indeed. Oh yeah. My greatest. So my great why, my greatest. Oh, they say what? Hey, what a miracle. Hold on. Somebody saying it. They said breaking news. They said US President Donald Trump to visit this country. Hey, I'm not even saying it. You see that whilst I'm talking, we only tell you. But we're not going to show somebody on our channel. We're not talking about somebody. But that's on what? It's on live. It's on YouTube. You don't have to be wedding somebody to somebody. I'll find out from that. Because I wasn't coming there. I was just going to show my channel. Like, whilst I'm broadcasting live watching. So it is live. That if you search, you're going to have what I'm doing live. Look at it here. Look. There's it. Live. You see it? What I'm doing live right now is the same thing you are seeing here. So when you see it like this, I'm broadcasting live feed from my channel and from my studios. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to edit. So I'm in the in video. Now in the in video, I could be watching now. Watch. I'm going to be watching. Whilst I'm broadcasting live, I can also be watching. And then they'll tell you somebody's watching. Where did you get this kind of live from? So I'm broadcasting live and myself talking. Listen. So you see that it's echoing now before you. That's why if an angel is talking or receiving, both situations is like that. So when it's now echoing, it's because I'm watching myself and listening to myself. So that's the result for echoing. So I need to click on this thumb up like that, up. So I need to put this one there. Silver. So you see that it's my own channel. That's why they highlighted gold. It's my own segment. That's why it has been highlighted gold. That's the reason. So I need to click like. So that's what I do to myself. Yes. If you don't know what it is, come on, Zeus. What many uncles with that Zeus power is. So I'm just entertaining you at the end part of it, not to say it is because we've ended the broadcast and I'm telling you things I'm doing again with the channel. So whilst I was watching live, you were hearing the echoing. It means when I speak, it has to sound back to myself as I'm hearing myself. And so you'll be hearing it one word 2 times. It means things are really working. So whilst I also kind of on. So when you turn yourself off, is the reason the one who is on, you don't know him. And you are sinning against him. So we're going to put this one in the musica part of it. So globally, I need to put it there. And also what? Do we have a music? Yes. We should. Yeah, music industry here. So these are the list that I can also add it here. So that if I'm searching for it, it will not just be in one list. Playlist. Then this same thing we are hearing. Sometimes only the spiritual purpose or spiritual reason, like the weighing of tension or strength, energy, is a reason you can select, oh, this part, don't listen, you can watch this. It's a reason. However, this is nothing to do with somebody. They say, oh, maybe you are showing naked pictures, things to the children, and why you don't have to call it children something. So character is that whatever I'm doing here, that we're showing you will never fail. Yes. So here it is. As I need to also put whatever I'm mentioning here. I need to put these things there. Here, this. At least to understand the teaching, and when you have what, let's say any other thing that follows. So I'm gonna put it right there. So you see, I was like a kind of light quickening. That if it should be, that would be the first time Trump. Well, because whilst I was broadcasting, you see, I have to mention that's what concerns the true spirit. So when we know you as a friend, it doesn't really mean some of you are the same angel we are. We know who should be a friend. But when you don't live the life up to the standard, so that education sets your standard above where you are not above, you will have to know who the Trump will mention and who you need to understand. You have to know that. Because there are people who are loudness in the spirit of them, and they say, that you should know their own and not treat them bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? That when you should know that you have treated yourself wrongly before the Lord that you have said is holy or most holy. In this country or any country, we only talk about people who are great, and that according to what? The scripture, who they say you serve, that you serve. Don't carry the food that is for holy people for something else. We are learning and earning something here. I'm just looking at what to write. What to write? Well. I'm looking at something very powerful, something crucially. So I've not had to say I pay my price and supernatural word for the Lord to be hated. No, that's not a reward. So we don't have anybody that is a scammer. If you are a scammer doesn't come and talk about the truth. You can never do a sinful thing and talk about an angel. Don't even try it. If you are a scammer, the one who is a scammer, he's the one telling people who is a scammer. They are afraid, they are hiding. And we will make sure their end comes as it is. Why? I'm talking about the truth and spirit and the Lord himself. And they are calling you some of the names and you think you are the truth. Where do you work? So we tell you that anybody that speaks any voice of somebody to you, that's a liar. Let them talk about themselves. The business they have for the Lord and with the Lord. Let them tell you about themselves. They say, write about yourself. Why you go and say this one is a scammer, this one is you are a liar. Don't be saying somebody is this. Just talk about your business. Talk about your business with the Lord. So we don't have any sermon, we don't have any ghost. I am the flesh that was born, and they are even telling you what? Sandalphon, a person who lives in the flesh or as a human. And you are saying what ghost? So I'm coding it. Oh, yeah. So if you have a business, you talk about your business. Don't mind in somebody's business talking about them, trying to discredit what they are doing. What do you know about us? You don't know anything about this person. Because what I'm doing has nothing in your business line. I'm talking to only the one in that area. We are not converting anybody. If you are not converting yourself, I'm not the one coming to convert you either. I'm already what I am to say I am. Yes. I am just who I am, and that is it. So I have had to do this, change this, get this, and all of that. Yay. So that's why it's earned a broadcast here. Stay tuned for any other thing that pops up as the Lord's word cannot fail.